what what do they call them? Prayer warriors are so important. Prayer warriors just move things, change people's minds, change people's hearts, change people's relationship status, change people's tax bracket. When a prayer warrior get down and get to fighting and get to building, who knows what the outcome's going to be in your life.
That's right. Come on.
18. Every one of the builders had his sword girded to his side as they built, and the one who sounded the trumpet was set beside me. Then I said to the nobles and the rulers and the rest of the people, the work is great and extensive, and we are separated far from one another on the wall. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there, and God will fight for us. Let me tell you what happens. What happens is the enemy begins to distract you so that you're fighting your own battle way over there, and I'm fighting my battle way over here, and they're fighting their battle, and it feels like we're fighting all by ourselves. It feels like we're building all alone, like there ain't nobody around, like there ain't nobody for I can see. But if you listen for the trumpet, we can rally together. So when you need me, I come and help you, and when I need you, you come and help me, and when revival comes, we get in the same place and we get together, and I realize that I ain't alone, and you ain't alone, and we ain't alone, because I hear the trumpet and I'm ready to do battle with you, for you, and beside you. I got your back.
Come on.
So we labored and worked. Half of the men held the spears from daybreak until the stars appeared. At the same time, I also said to the people, let each man and his servant stay at night in Jerusalem, that they may be our guard by night and working party by day. Servants nor the men of the guard who followed me took off our clothes, except everyone took them off for washing. He said they didn't even have time to change outfits. All they worried about was watching over. All they worried about was rebuilding until they had accomplished their goal. I'm almost done. Bear with me. Chapter 6, verse 15. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of Elul, the 52nd, in 52 days. They built all the walls in 52 days. And it happened when all our enemies heard of it, all the nations around us saw these things, that they were very disheartened in their own eyes, for they had perceived that this work was done by our God. The same enemy that mocked them, the same enemy that made fun of them, the same enemy that plotted against them was now disheartened, was now afraid, was now discombobulated, because they knew that God was on their side. When it's all said and done, and you get to your Grammy and you get to your famous song, and they give you your royalties and they give you your accolades and they praise you for the good things you've done, the same haters that hated on you when you first started are going to sit back and say, now I fear you. Now I'm afraid of you. Now I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to see me. I don't want you to come against me. I don't want you to know who I am, because I am afraid of what you might do to me, because I know that God is on your side. Turkeys. How they mean? What you think, that God ain't on my side when I start off with one brick? The same God that helped me put the first brick is the same God that's going to help me put the last brick. Can you say amen? Bishop, come to the piano. I want you to do something for me. It's the title of the sermon here is Built with Bricks of Affliction. Every affliction I've ever gone through is just another brick that I use to build my wall. You can't build your wall if you ain't never been through affliction. My God, my God, my God. If you ain't never been through something, then you ain't got a wall to talk about. If you ain't never been in a battle, then I can't trust you. If you ain't never gone through hell or high water, you have no foundation to start off with. If you ain't never been with your back against the wall or your knees on the floor, then you don't got a brick to add to your wall, because it's the bricks of affliction that I build my wall with today. Can you say amen? What begins building my walls with burnt bricks. See, the wood got burnt up, but the bricks only got stronger as the fire burned hotter. So they really is what they were doing, was making my wall stronger. And I began to build my wall. See, watch this. Bishop, do this number here. Do this. Wait, I'm on the wrong side. There you go. There you go. See? Oh! I've had to labor. I've had to go through some brokenheartedness. I've had to go through some pain. But every affliction that I've ever gone through has become a brick in my hand. And every problem, and every trial, and every tribulation has just fortified my wall. So when the enemy comes back around, my wall has been restored by the bricks of affliction. Can you say amen? Okay, see. So you have more than one kid, right? I don't even know why I'm running. That's weird. I don't even run out of church. Why would I run in church? But I feel something inside of me that I can't sit still because I've been through some things. See, I got 4 children. My daughter goes to college in Colorado Springs. That was my only reason for going, but now I have another reason for going. And you got more than one kid. And the first kid goes through some junk. And it breaks your heart. And it breaks your wall down. And you feel like, I can't go through this. But then God turns that affliction into a brick. And you lay it down. And then you have another kid. But the time that the other kid starts going through things, you tell the devil, I've been here before. I've cried that tear already. And I ain't going to cry it again. Because this is no longer affliction. This is a brick that fortifies my foundation. So you may have messed with me last year, but you ain't going to mess with me this year because I've been through some things. So you got a family member that is diagnosed with cancer. And they show you how to do it. Because halfway through the building of the wall, they got discouraged. The enemy comes in, and halfway through, he tries to discourage you. But when it's your turn, oh my God, and you get the phone call, and the doctor says, listen, we don't know what's wrong with you. We know you got to get up in here, and we got to take something out, or we got to do a surgery. See, you don't cry that cry anymore. You don't let that break be in your heart anymore, because you already had that brick burnt by fire. And if they got through it, I can get through it. And now it becomes no longer an affliction. It becomes a brick in my foundation. So then they come after your finances and your emotions. Get all tied up in finance. But you know what the Bible says? He says, if I take care of the birds, my God, and I give them, and they don't sow or reap. In other words, have you ever known a bird to fill out an application at Walmart? And you walk into Walmart and the bird says, welcome to Walmart. How'd you get this job? The bird don't fill out no application, but his belly's full and his home is safe and his children are growing. And God says, if I take care of the bird in the air, how much more do I love you? And I'm going to take care of you. So one day you see, you come, one day you come and you see me and you be like, look, Victor, he's a mess. Look at his relationship. Look at his finances. Look at his children. It's a mess. His walls have been broken down. His heart has been torn in half. His emotions are a wreck. His spiritual life is dwindling down to nothing. But let me tell you, come back in like 52 days. Come back in like 2 months. And you're going to come back around. And you're going to say, there's something different about this man of God. Because the last time I came, there was a gap in his wall. But the next time I came around, he was a fortified city. He was a foundation. And his life was in order. And his children were all right. And help! Don't tell me that. What you're going through. I don't care what the devil lied about. He broke it. Oh, my God. To my last phone call. Have you ever call in your last favor? Be like, listen, I know I said I wouldn't ask again. Oh, my God. Maybe it's just me, but you had to call in your last favor. But I got a feeling deep down inside of me that one day I'm going to be able to pay back every favor. And I'm going to be a lender instead of a borrower. And I'm going to be the head instead of the tail. And I'm going to be on top instead of on bottom. Because God is restoring and rekindling and rebuilding and refreshing and reminding me that I have built my wall with bricks of affliction. Number 2, examine the damage and decide to rebuild. Right now, decide that I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to re-examine. I'm going to go. You ever made a list? You ever made a list? I'm going to go back to the list. And I'm going to see the last thing I checked off. And I'm going to go back to the list and finish the wall that's halfway finished. Ooh, that's so weak. Examine the damage and decide to rebuild. Number 3, when you start to rebuild, the enemy will try to stop you. The only reason the enemy comes around to mess with you is because you're doing something right. You're doing something good. You're going in the right direction. If the enemy didn't come in, how would you ever know you were going in the right direction? How would you ever know how to write a song about being down and coming back up unless you've been there?